You don't have time. And I know this is a bit redundant, it's repeated over and over again, but the saying still holds and it couldn't be any more true. You don't have time to be hesitant. You don't have time to sit on a dream or idea and not act on it. The things you wish or plan to do later can't and shouldn't wait. The dreams, the aspirations, the goals in which you have in mind, the window for opportunity grows smaller every second and every day you wait. And yes, I know people are gonna say it's cliche and that's corny to say that tomorrow's never guaranteed, but it's true. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. In fact, the only thing guaranteed is the fact that one day you're gonna die, and that day can be sooner or later for others. So why prolong the wait to do what you want to do when you know these circumstances hold true? The reason I'm saying this is because this took some time for me to understand. This didn't come to me until I was able to resonate with it. See, everybody gets the idea that tomorrow isn't guaranteed, but very few are able to fully grasp and understand it, to live by it. Sure, the idea of tomorrow isn't guaranteed has always been in my head, but I never really took it into account. Even so, I've seen glimpses of the idea, being that two of my friends have passed in car-related incidents. My high school friend crashed due to unknown causes. From what we were told, he died on impact. It kind of makes you sit and wonder what it must have been like. Gone just like that. No recollection of your last thought, and probably he had no idea of what had even happened. My other friend, he had just passed this year. He was killed by a drunk LA officer. It was late at night, and he was on the crosswalk, and the officer hit him with a car and drove off. There, he was left on the street alone, and that is where authorities later found him dead. I don't want to make this sound any more grim than it already is, or anything like that. But these things I knew, I just didn't really take into account, because it didn't quite resonate with me at that time. Till one day, I was directly involved in a car accident. I was driving out of school. I just got out of class. There, I was waiting for a green light at an intersection. When my light turns green, I turn left. And as I turn left, my airbags go off. Smoke from my airbags fill the car. Next thing you know, I'm checking myself for any injuries, and fortunately, I didn't have any. What happened was I was hit by a guy running a red light. I was T-boned driver's side, and luckily for me, the guy had swerved left just in time to hit my front left wheel and my front left engine bay rather than my door. The witness had told me I was lucky. He said if it would have been any closer, it could have been bad. I asked the cop how fast he was going because obviously the guy didn't want to incriminate himself even more. The cop told me that he wasn't sure, but the cop said he was going fast considering he was running a red, and the fact that both my front and back airbags go off, even though he'd only made contact with the front left side of my car. To put it into perspective, before I could even look left, my airbags go off. That's how fast it had happened. Before I could even look left and react, it would have already been too late. If the guy who had T-boned me hadn't inched to the left to the slightest, and let's say he did hit my door directly, I don't want to sound a bit dramatic, but I don't think, but rather know, I wouldn't have been given the chance of walking out that car. See, much like my friend who had passed on impact in his crash, you don't quite understand it until you're the one in that situation. No recollection of your last thought, no time to react or even process what had even happened. Much like my friends, whatever plans, goals, dreams, aspirations, whatever it is that they had, it's all gone. Just about my whole life, I always consider myself unlucky. And that day, I realized just how lucky I am. I was lucky because I was given a chance. And I realized, much like my friends and many others, some don't get a chance. I never really told anybody this, but I've always wanted to make these videos, the ones I make right now. I had these ideas written down, and I've kept them to myself for a very long time. The truth is, I never got to them because I always got made fun of, and I still get made fun of today. I didn't initially make the videos because I was scared of people making fun of them, making fun of me, telling me it's corny, telling me it's embarrassing. But once that crash had happened, I kind of took things differently. To put it simple and straight, I basically told myself, fuck them. Because if I hadn't been so lucky, what? Everything I want to do, everything I want to say, every thought, every idea, every future plan, gone just like that? Because what? I was more scared of being made fun of than I was of dying? From that point on, I made sure I wasn't going to let people's opinions and views sway me from what I wanted to do. I made sure I was going to get everything I wanted to do out. Because I realize now, the last thing I'd do is let somebody else's opinion stop me. With that said, all I want to say is that you should start taking in every moment. Because your dreams and aspirations can be taken away from you at any given moment. So take every opportunity, take every chance to do what you've been so longing to do for a very long time. Whatever it is you had in mind, whatever it is you've been planning for so long but never followed through, do it now. Because understand, you don't have then, you have now. So start now.